Fear. Fear is not real. Fear is just false expectations appearing real. Today, we're going to talk about conquering that. So, it's your boy, Mikey Rocks.
I'm Nia.Biaa. I'm here. I have arrived for you all in the Black Millennial podcast. Episode 11. Short episode. We back. We live.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Did y'all miss us?
You always ask these rhetorical questions.
Well, I mean, like, who else we gonna talk to each other? We did that already. All right, but like you said, we're talking about conquering fear today. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Start us off. Fuck us up.
Me? It was your idea.
Lead us into salvation. Black men don't I've never wanted to do nothing. Anywho.
Remember that the next time there's a spider in the crib.
Listen, though, but he was right
Remember
there.
that the next time.
He was really right there. He really was trying to kill me.
Don't even call
me. Homie really looked me in my eyes, and I saw all death.
I was right back.
He had the Thanos snap. Like, he was ready to go. Listen, okay. So I really wanted to talk about conquering fear because with some of the people that we've encountered like this week, I've noticed that we've been helping them with, overcoming like, their fears or maybe even like overexcitement, to a certain extent, like getting through stuff that's like really scary and like unsure. And I kind of wanted to, I guess, talk about that here. I really don't have much direction other than I wanted to talk about those things. But like maybe like some tips, tricks, it ain't tricking if you got it. So
okay, I guess I'll lead it if you need it.
Oh, now you see how the black women lay the foundation, and then here go the men trying to take all the glory,
I'm
y'all.
trying to give y'all space in the platform, but then y'all motherfuckers just turn back around and be like, "Well, I don't know what to say. I need help."
No, it's not what I said. I said I didn't really have any direction. Like I know what I want to talk about.
You never do. Y'all just be.
That's bullshit. I know.
Direction.
Listen, y'all got me fucked up in here. If you thought this was gonna be a nice podcast today.
Look, so kind of like you were saying, we have been coming in contact with people who have like had fear, making them scared to do things, cautious to doing things and stuff like that. So for me, I was fear played a huge role in my life. It's the reason why I did a lot of things and the reason why I did not do a lot of things.
Right.
Starting back from basketball. So the ironic part about it was when I was young, I had no fear. I used to like jump off of couches. I would do backflips. I would do all types of stupid shit. Then one day, something happened. I don't know what. I'm still trying to figure it out. That just made me realize, wait a second. Shit can actually go wrong.
Consequences, probably.
Yeah. I must have suffered some consequence that made me realize that, wait a second. Like, life isn't just this, like, you live in the moment. Sometimes if you do something, it might affect you for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think what happened for me was when I actually started to care more about things, the fear started to pick up. So basketball, I cared so much about it. It was just like debilitating fear every time I played a basketball game, with panic attacks and all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't until, I always thought that like I could get rid of that fear.
Yeah.
I thought there was a life without it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I joined my fraternity that I found out that there is no life without fear.
Mm-hmm.
It's in all of us. Some people do a better job of hiding it. I used to think that like one day I'll be like Kobe, I'll be like Jordan, and I'll have no fear and I'll be able to... No. Them motherfuckers are scared too.
Yeah.
What nobody talks about though is knowing how to deal with that. And that's a individual thing. Like I think everybody has their own way. For me, being prepared is my way of
conquering fear.
You know what I mean? Like if the more prepared I am, then I can tackle these things. And even with the unknown, you can be prepared for the unknown. Yeah. And what that means is you accept that you can't control it. A lot of times fear for some people, at least for me I can say, is that it's the fear that if something happens that I don't know how to deal with, I won't be able to control it, and then something's gonna... No. Sometimes shit's just gonna happen, and you just gotta live with it. Yeah. And that's okay. Like that's dead ass okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel similar, but there's times where we agree on things. I think of fear and I think of what I can't do, right?
What you can't or can?
Can't.
Okay.
Can't do, what I cannot accomplish, or what won't let me accomplish because of what might be on the other side of it. And I've realized that I had to change my language. I have to do it because I don't know what's on the other side of it. Instead of saying like, if I do it, then it could go all wrong. It also could all go right. You know what I mean? And being okay with if it goes wrong, because now I know how, when I go back to do it, because I got to go back to do it, I know what not to do next time. I think sometimes we think of fear and we think fear and failure are the same thing. We think there's synonyms, and they're not.
They're correlated with each other, or they're connected.
Yeah, and they're not connected. To be scared of something is, I don't want to say it's irrational, because there are some rational fears, right?
It's healthy,
like,
though.
And it is, and it saves you from doing stupid shit
yeah.
to a certain extent. Like, my fear of being burned, gets me to the point where I don't, when I'm cooking, I make sure I'm not just, talking willy-nilly or whatever, doing whatever, because I don't want to accidentally put my hand on the eye, right? Because I know...
Ironic.
I know that, like, that's not something that I want to do. However, when I say, I don't know if I want to start this podcast because I don't know who's listening to it, or who will listen to it, or who gives a fuck about what I have to say, or maybe I'm not the best, like, speaker, or maybe I'm not the best motivator, or whatever the case may be. I'm not, like, all these different things. But what about all the stuff that I am? Like, I am a nice person. That's enough for me. I am, like, an energetic person. That's enough for me, too. Yeah, I have things I want to say. That's enough to start. And you do it, and then you conquer that fear, and you go... and it's funny, you always get to the other side of the fear, and you go, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
The anticipation of something is always worse than the actual thing.
It is. Like, when I was telling you last week, and I was like, I just didn't want all of those different things to happen. Like, I just couldn't bear the thought of it happening, because for some strange reason, I thought it was like, when everybody thought 2000s was coming, and it was the new year, and they're counting down the clock,
blow up and
everything is gone. Like, it's just gonna get dark, and then nothing else happens, because you can't think past that point. Like, you keep stopping yourself at one point, and you have to understand that fear doesn't stop life. You have to keep going. You have to understand that, like, you might be scared of this thing, and you have to get past it. So how do I recognize that it does make me fearful, but it doesn't make me come to a halt? You know what I mean? So it's funny, because I started off this thing, and I was like, I want to give tips and stuff. I don't even know how to give a tip. I think one of the things that I've been trying to do is see the fear and then run towards it. Like,
that's what you gotta do.
Full ahead. And I don't know if it's working like yet, because I haven't gotten through everything I'm trying to get through that makes me fearful, right? But, like, I say, all right, well, I got to do it, because it's scaring the shit out of me. So it's like, I can either keep running from it and prolonging the fear, which I definitely don't want to happen, or I can get to the fear, get through the pain, and then get to the other side and keep going. And I think we also not only fear whatever the thing is, but we fear the work that, like, comes with the pain, that if it does go bad, the work of the pain, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, like working through that, and how, like, that makes me fearful too. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to blink and it all go away. And it doesn't go away.
I feel you. And that's why, like, one of my favorite poems ever, See It Through, like, it means so much to me, because I used to be someone that, like I said, I wanted the fear to go away. I wanted a life without it. But that poem taught me, black may be the clouds about you, and your future may seem grim, but don't let your nerve desert you. Keep yourself in fighting trim. If the worst is bound to happen, in spite of all that you can do, running from it will not save you. See it through. And that part, running from it will not save you. Because what I found is, all you're doing when you run away from it is just doing, you ran away in a circle, right back to it.
Right back to it.
It's going to come back. It's going to come back. You just have to just face this shit. You got to just take the lump. It's like when people, they're afraid of school, so they don't go. You ran away from it. Nigga, you still need the degree. And people always end up having to come back. You still got to get the GED. You end up having to get the GED now.
Yeah.
And now it's probably even a worse situation. So it's like, you don't run from it. There are some things you might need to take a step back and reevaluate your approach. I'll give you that. You all right?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening. I'm listening. I hear you.
Yeah, daydreaming and shit.
Nah, I was, for once, listening to what you had to say.
But that's fine. I ain't recognize the face.
You was like, what's wrong with you? You broke? Everything was okay?
But, you know what I mean? Like, you have to, you can step away from it. Mm-hmm. But you got to just face it at some point. And disclaimer, we are not saying that this is a painless process. This shit hurts. No. It is uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. But find comfort in uncomfortable situations. You know,
a lot of people we don't champion consistency, and we don't champion fear. We don't champion, like, we champion success, but we don't champion necessarily all of the rough stories that get you there, or we don't champion the consistency it takes to continuously get through that fear. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not sure how we may be coming off, but fear is also a continuous thing, right? You don't stop being, like, the fear doesn't just go away because you completed it or you completed that one task, right? It's a daily thing. It's like a daily affirmation. You look in that mirror and you say, like, this makes me scared and I'm about to go fuck it up anyways, right? But we don't really champion the consistency it takes to get through fear. And I think we have to recognize that, especially as a people, we have to see, like, okay, this person is going through this thing and we know that they're continuously scared of this thing and they continuously keep getting through it. And that's a good thing, you know, and we have to keep uplifting each other, you know, recognize that you're not the only one who is fearful of something, and lend that hand and make it known that it's all right that you're still going through this thing. It's all right that you completed it and then you had to come back and, you know, do it, you know, go through something else. So, you know, it is what it is. You gotta get through. You gotta conquer that fear.
Yeah. I think the tip that I would give, you know, if we haven't given enough tips already, is that it's okay to fail. I think that's one thing that I had to learn in my life. And once I truly understood that, the fear went away a little bit. Mm-hmm. Because the fear is of what? Of failing. And what we assume failure to be is, this is the end. Yeah. No, failure is just a part of the process. Honestly, it's only failure if you quit. So if you believe that no matter how many no's I get, I could still go. Yeah. No matter how many times, you know, I may, you know, let's say your thing is sports, you know, you still haven't, you know, reached that plateau, you still haven't lost that weight, whatever. You pick your shit back up and you try again. You try a different plan. You try a different gym. You try a different trainer, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. Keep going. Just keep going.
You have to be careful about what you say to yourself because you're listening.
Yeah. Be kind to yourself.
I just saw that recently, and you know, it's real. You have to, your language is strong, and you have to understand that I don't know if everybody's like religious or if they're not, but you have to understand that you're not doing it alone. Even if, you know, someone's not physically there, you have to be able to talk and have that relationship with God, understand that he's going to get you through. The fear is just a testimony. You know what I mean? Your fear is just a lesson, and you're running from your lesson. And we know what happened with what was Jonah with the well. You got to start running from your destiny. You know, the fear is the devil telling you or making you come away from what's supposed to already be yours. So you might as well run through the door and go get it. You might as well change your perspective and go get it. You might as well change your language and go get it, because all it's going to do is make you feel bad. So you want to feel bad or you want to get through it? I mean, those are your two options. So you got to, pick a door and go through it.
Either way, you're going to feel bad. So you might as well just pick the one that goes to get you through.
you might as well.
I'm going to tell you right now, either way, you are going to feel bad. So you might as well pick the one that results in something good.
Some type of, what am I trying to say?
I'll never know.
Who knows? Whatever. Fear is not real. God is more than a conqueror. It's lit, y'all. I hope that this gave y'all everything that y'all needed. Thank you so much for listening again. Please subscribe and follow us on the Black Millennial Podcast on Instagram and any other place that you listen. Thanks, y'all. We love you. Bye.
Peace and love, y'all. Later.